open. Dave, I'm letting you take this one away.
I am super excited about this game. Are you excited about this game?
Are you though?
I think I am, guys.
It's a third-person battle royale game.
That's totally fine because I love this.
Wow.
I love this IP so much. It doesn't
Okay.
matter what
All right.
type of game it is. Okay, guys. So if you guys are just listening, we are looking at the trailer right now. And if you do not know what we are talking about, we are talking about Open, which is inspired by the book slash movie Ready Player One. And we are taking a look at the main character, Wade Watts, who is walking through the garage that is in Ready Player One, and you see the Iron Giant in the background, and you see the DeLorean in the background, and he looks at a TV that's playing some retro stuff, and it just says, "Are you ready?" And then he gets sucked into the TV, and I cannot be more excited for this.
Okay. What I didn't see a bunch on this game. Is there more that you found on what this game is going to be aside from a third person? Yeah, it's gonna be a third-person battle royale that'll have different, like it's like a game show, like the movie and the TV in the book, right? It's like a game show. I've never actually seen either. I've never read or seen the movie.
Oh my God, dude, you've never
Yeah.
seen Ready Player One?
I actually was gonna try watching it before this episode, and then I got really busy at work, so I didn't get a
Dude,
chance to do it.
you need to see Ready Player One. Okay, so real quick, let's do a little kind of a rundown of Ready Player One, just because obviously not everybody might know what we're talking about here. So Ready Player One is a movie slash book, and it is set in the year 2045. And in the year 2045, in this universe, the world is basically on the verge of collapse. Everything is kind of falling apart. Everything is just not good. Poverty is crazy. Everything is broken. Nothing like it literally looks like pre-apocalypse. So in order as human beings, in order to escape that, basically humans in 2045 spend most of their time in what is known as a VR simulation that is known as the Oasis. And inside the Oasis, you can kind of just be anything that you want to be. And the Oasis is set up with tons of different planets where you can jump around, you can go racing, you can go skiing, you can play volleyball, you can be fishing, you can be on a land where you're in like first person shooter mode. Like it's basically just think of all of these different game genres and just a world where you exist within them, and you get yourself your own avatar. You can customize your avatar. You can get like your own cars, and like you're basically just living your life as a person in this VR world. And the whole point of the movie is that the creator of this system, James Halliday, he ends up dying in the movie, and as soon as he dies, his character within the Oasis sends a message out to every single person that has an Oasis account and says, there is something that you need to do. And it's basically what it becomes is this hunt for a very special Easter egg, and the very first person to find the Easter egg gains control of the Oasis. They take his spot as the owner of the Oasis, which, as you can tell, is a very, very coveted prize in this kind of aspect. And you're seeing the main character, who is Wade Watts, and he is like the very first person to kind of uncover the clue about where to begin this. And then the whole rest of the movie is this like hunt for this Easter egg, and he's figuring out clues, and he's competing with other players, obviously, but he's also competing with like this bad corporation that wants to take control of the Oasis and like use it for monetary gain. It's an absolutely it's an amazing movie, and I love it. So yeah, definitely check it out. But that's what this game is going to be about. And like Adam said, it is a third person battle royale. It's a game show style multi-round collaborative modes, and basically what's going to happen, from my understanding, is you are going to be able to drop in and experience a lot of these like rounds, I would call them. But think of it as like Mario Party, right? So when you play Mario Party, you play with like a group of people, and you all like interact in these games and stuff like that. But think of the games as being like super cool games. Like instead of just like jumping a rope with four other people, like you get loaded into this like, okay, round one tactical shooter, and you get dropped into this like Call of Duty universe, and you know they like round two is like Need for Speed, where you drop into like you drop into whatever you're in the freaking Batmobile, and it's like actual real racing, and like oh dude, it's limitless possibilities. I'm so excited for this game.
Do you think it's going to be just a shooter game, or do you think it's going to be a mix of different things?
No, it's going to be a total mix. So what they're saying is that they're going to have shooting, they're going to have racing, they're going to have tactical positioning, they're going to have combat, like fighting. They're going to have puzzle aspects, like Tomb Raider style stuff. Like you're going to drop into just like how the Oasis has like all of these different planets of things that you can do. They're gonna make these all like into games that you can actually do within this reality. So it's literally like we talk about this all the time. We're making video game the game. This is video game the game, but in a good way, because it's like, what can you do in open? Anything that you can do in every other game that exists. You want to go racing? Do it. You want to do a first person shooter? Do it. You want to do some puzzle stuff? Do it. You just want to explore? You want to go skiing? Do it. Like it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of things that they could do in this game.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The fact that they're making this world essentially into a real video game is actually really cool, and I really hope that it gets executed very well. Who's the developer? I didn't write that one down.
So the developer is the Readyverse, and the cool thing about the Readyverse is so the Readyverse is actually partnered with Ernest Cline. And why is that important? It's because Ernest Cline is the author of these two, Ready Player One, Ready Player Two. He is the author of the books, and he is kind of overseeing to make sure that they don't do anything that is going to be a detriment to the actual story. And I love that. I love that he is actually a part of it. And they're also toting that this is going to be the first AAA quality metaverse experience. So like when you're in VR, you can kind of tell you're in a very VR world. They are saying that this is going to be like the very first AAA VR experience. So like I'm ready to just have my mind blown.
I thought it was third person though.
Yeah, it's third person.
In VR? Like you're gonna play this in VR as third person?
Yeah, you're gonna be in VR.
I'm confused on how that's gonna work. So I'm wearing my goggles, right?
You're wearing your goggles, yeah.
And I'm in third person.
I mean, there's probably aspects where you jump into first person, but I think for the most part, like the combat systems and stuff like that is gonna be in third person.
I'm so confused on how that's gonna work, to be honest. Because when you're in VR, you're typically in first person. I don't know a game where you're in VR in third person. Are you sure this game's VR?
I mean, that's what they're saying. They're touting it as the first AAA quality metaverse experience.
Metaverse. Do you think that's more of like just like having like maybe like not the VR metaverse side? You know what I mean? Like a virtual, like an alternate reality, like a digital reality, but not VR.
It would be weird if this experience wasn't VR, wouldn't it though?
I don't think it is VR like at all. I think it's you drop in and like you have this metaverse, like these things, like it's metaverse, but not VR metaverse. I don't know. I'm confused on what that means now.
Okay, you just confused me too, guys. Let us know down in the comments if you guys have any insight on this. But I just feel like, I mean, this is a game inspired by living in a VR world. It would just feel off if it wasn't VR, wouldn't it?
That's where I was confused on why you were excited about this game, because it's a third person battle royale game. Like I think it's specifically just third person.
I mean,
I might have just like ruined your day.
No, I'm still gonna. I don't
Okay.
care. I don't care what it's on. Dude, I love the IP that much. I do not care what it on. But that is definitely interesting. It's a game that's built on the VR experience. So I just feel like it would be off if it wasn't in VR.
It would be, and then so I just pulled up the description of it. Yeah, all it says is a third person battle royale experience. Open will be hero experience. Doesn't say anything about VR aside from enter opens immersive multiverse. So I think it's just gonna have different IPs and different games. So they're saying like there's multiverses in that aspect.
Okay.
And
interesting.
And it's just funny. One of the comments says, "It would be crazy if this doesn't support VR."
Right. I mean, I thought that was kind of a given.
Oh wait, and now it's saying it's literally VR only. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a third person flat screen. I think that's what it is.
I would just really assumed it was VR. It would be so weird if it wasn't VR.
Yeah, and it's coming to Xbox, and Xbox doesn't have VR,
Right.
so I don't think this game's gonna be in VR.
Okay. Well,
Well,
either
you're still
way,
excited.
I'm still excited for it. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
I just think
um,
it's limitless possibilities.
I agree.
Just the amount of things you can do in that game is so sweet, and like what I'm really excited for is just like the Easter eggs. I'm
Yeah,
so excited for all of the Easter eggs that are going to be floated throughout this metaverse, and like
mhm.
I hope they don't go like so in your face of like, look at this Easter egg. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
hope they're true Easter eggs where you like find this thing and it's like you gotta know, like you gotta know what you're looking at. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And because it's gonna mean so much more to the people that get it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. It's gonna. You want them to be meticulous. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you'd have to like not work for it, but like you said, you want to know like, oh, I know what this is. I know what this is from. So I think that's yeah, that'd be really cool.
Right.
Um, but only time will tell once we start getting a little bit more gameplay and seeing what the game's actually about. But I don't think it's VR, which I think it would have been cool if they did like a VR version of something like this.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I'm sorry, guys. I guess I should have done a little bit more research, but I
Yeah,
just assumed that it would be a VR experience. It's an entire
that's
IP
the whole
that's
yeah.
yeah, it's an entire IP just built around living in a VR world.
We'll find out. Time will tell.
Time will tell. But I will say, either way, I'm super excited for it. I think the possibilities are limitless. I really, really, really love the fact that Ernest Klein is just being part of it and making sure that the IP stays the way that it needs to stay. And I think we really saw that in the trailer. If you really dissect that trailer, I mean, Wade Watts, he loads in his character's name within the Oasis as Percival, and he loads into that trailer looking exactly the same way that he does in the movie. I mean, he's down to the Reeboks. He's rocking the same shoes. Like he walks into the garage and you see the Iron Giant and like you see the DeLorean in the background and you see like the retro game on the old school CRT TV. I mean, they really, really, really just I think that's what made me the most excited is they just really nailed all the aspects that should have been in the trailer. They did perfectly, and I hope that they continue that throughout the gameplay.
Is Ready Player One kind of like a better version of the new Jumanji games?
Um,
You know what I'm talking about? Like where it's like Jumanji was a video game, and they, you know what I'm talking about with Kevin Hart, The Rock, that Jumanji.
I haven't seen that
Yeah, I haven't
Jumanji.
either. I
Yeah,
kind of avoided that one.
I
I don't
avoided
want
that
to.
one too.
I don't want to ruin my taste of Robin Williams. Is that
Yeah,
his name? Yeah,
R.I.P. Robin Williams. But
yeah,
yeah, nobody's gonna do it better. I'm sorry, Kevin
yeah,
Hart. I didn't even
yeah,
watch it. But
yeah.
no, I mean, I think it's like the basic premise of it is again, Holiday dies and he kind of like leads you on this quest, and the quest to find these Easter eggs is you need to find three separate keys that are going to unlock this door that holds the Easter egg, and that's where this idea of like you can do anything like these, kind of like game show style trials is that in like it's not going to ruin anything, but the very first trial that Wade Watts kind of figures out and he gets the first key is a race, right? So that's where like that's where the race aspect kind of comes in, and it's so cool because like the aspects of these things is like it in this VR world you can literally have anything you want and you can put all of these separate IPs in it. So it's like they're driving through like this cool like race setup and like people are driving like the Batmobiles in there, like there's a part in the race where King Kong is swinging on the buildings and like jumping through and like pounds the streets down. It's like all of these crazy like licensed IPs are just part of this thing. But that's kind of like the fun of it too, is he ends up figuring out this race. He gets the first key. Well, the second trial isn't a race at all. Like the second trial is something totally different, and the third trial is something totally different. So it's like, I think that's where they got the idea of like let's have this battle royale, but have a game show style where they have to do multiple different things that all don't really kind of correlate with each other because that's exactly what the movie was like. Like you got to be good at racing, but you also got to be good at retro games, but you also have to be like a good puzzle. So like it's just such a cool idea that you get this like taste. You get a little taste of everything, and it just you never really get bored of it.
I think that's really cool. I feel like I have to go watch the movie right after we're done with shooting this episode.
1000%. If you have not seen that movie, give it a watch. It's amazing.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it tonight as soon as I'm laying in bed.
Hopefully we get a little bit more on the gameplay. As of right now, I'm super excited about it. I think everything that we've seen so far looks pretty good. And once we get our taste of the gameplay, that's going to be the telltale sign. But as of right now, double thumbs up for me. And if I had a third thumb, it would be up.
Here, you can have mine. There you go.
Triple thumbs up from the
I'm
Let's
just
Talk Dirty podcast.
unsure on what it is right now, so I don't have a big idea of where I want to put it. And I think watching the movie is going to help me have a little bit more excitement to it, if that makes sense. So
I think once you watch the movie, yeah, you're gonna probably be a little bit more excited because just think of yourself as Percival being able to load into this like VR oasis and just think about all of the things that you would do and like all of endless possibilities. It should be so sick.